What's up, folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to 3D Hangouts. I'm Pedro Ruiz, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello, everybody in the chat room. We're hanging out here. It's 11 a.m. And we just want to say hello to everybody and thank you for joining us. If you are indeed watching us live, you can throw us some comments and things in all the various chat rooms, but the one we're looking at right now is Discord. So howdy everybody in Discord.
We are hanging out in the Discord, in the YouTube chats, on Facebook chats, on Twitch, and on LinkedIn, on Periscope, and a couple of other places I might have forgotten. Thank you all for joining us this cloudy morning.
Yeah,
coming to you live from Orlando.
In the
shout out to everybody hanging out.
Studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and go through our housekeeping.
Sure. Nice... It's 2021. We're here. We hope everybody made it through okay. And we got some stuff for you. Free stuff if you order stuff from Adafruit. We got the freebie still going on, so check that out. Please do. It will get automatically added to your account. If you don't have an account already, please make one. It's free to do so. All right. CircuitPython meeting happens every Monday. This Monday it happened as well. Next week it'll happen on Tuesday, just to accommodate for some things. But it's a great time for folks in the community to check in, and folks from the core devs rather are also checking in and showing what they're working on and what they want to work on. So check it out Monday 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Adafruit's newsletters. Hi. If you go to adafruit.com/newsletter, you can subscribe to our product-focused one that happens every week. Stuff gets added to the store on a weekly basis, so this newsletter accommodates that nicely, or matches it. One of those words. More newsletters. If you want daily newsletters, you can go to adafruitdaily.com. It's a different domain, a different server entirely, which is good because we don't spam. So if you want daily content, because there's so much of it, and you want it in your email, you can go to adafruitdaily.com, check some boxes, and subscribe to it.
Those boxes are all of the different categories that we have. We have 3D printing, make code, we have maker business, we have new products. There's a ton being added. Brent has the IoT monthly on there, so there's always new ones getting added to all of the different categories, whatever your favorite maker category is.
And one of them, Python on hardware. I almost said CircuitPython hardware. Python on hardware gets its own video, and that's really great. So check that out too. We get that manifests itself in two forms: the newsletter and an awesome video with voices, sometimes from Canny, who's on the CircuitPython team. And back over to Discord. Hello, everybody.
Giving shout outs to people hanging out. We got David Odessa. We got Adam Catalak on the Facebook.
Cadillac?
Yeah.
That was cool. I like how you said it spaced out. Cat-a-lac.
Mr. Certainly Bruce, always hanging out in the Discord. We got
Bruce.
MDDC. Good morning to everybody hanging out.
Good morrow.
Let's go ahead and jump into
what are we talking about today?
Show.
Yeah. Well, this week let's see. So this week we got a pretty fun video that's like if you don't know what Feather is, this video that we did, it talks about the things that make Feather awesome, what it is. It's a form factor, it's a dev board, it's from Adafruit. You probably know what it is, but hey, we thought we'd put together a video on all the awesome things of Feather. So right here is kind of really a prototype circuit of the Darksaber. So what we have is the NRF Feather Bluefruit, this guy here, and the PropMaker FeatherWing, which is right here. I'm having on this doubler here just to kind of have them spaced out. In the actual build, they're fitted on top of each other for space constraints because that quite won't fit in a handle. But this shows you that you can like prototype it and spread it out with your doubler. So that's what this does. And it is running the current Saber code. I might want to redo this. So this is what's cool. You see how the battery connector's right there? I'm going to swap them out. So that's what's cool about the Feather, of course, with male headers, you can just swap them out. This doubler here gives you all these extra lovely pins, so if you're wiring to NeoPixels or other things that need to share power and ground, well, you got plenty there. So that's nice. So I'm fitting this now over here so that the battery connector is more accessible. So that just fits there. Line this up. it's really nice that it's the format's kind of keyed, so you can't put it in the wrong way. I'm just not kind of realizing that. Okay, so I refitted it. Here's the little battery. This is the battery that we're using in our build. It's the 2200 capacity, 3.7 volts. I did it wrong. You guys saw that live.
Well, good thing it's
No
modular.
undo.
So we've been on this
Sorry,
kick of doing a bunch of product-focused videos. So Collins did a couple of them, like what is Stemma, what is Cutie Pie. This is just a continuation of explaining what a lot of the ecosystems for these platforms are. So we just a nice little break for us as we get together the massive guide that is the Darksaber. We'll go ahead and scroll through some of the in-works progress
All right,
for the
here we
guide.
go. As a testing bed, I'm gonna like keep this circuit because this little NeoPixel ring, it's really nice to just be able to, hey, I unplugged it. That's great, and it's like just soldered directly to the wires, to the pads there. So that's really nice. I'd probably put some heat shrink there because they're gonna strain. You need some strain relief or some hot glue. But yeah, just plug it into the NeoPixel port on the PropMaker wing. I touched something. Sorry. Let me just hit reset. I bridged something by touching it. You want to be careful with that, right? Your fingers are capacitive. So this mini oval speaker is really nice. If you put it like against something, it like amplifies the sound because acoustics works that way. But you know, it has a built-in connector right here, so I could take that out and wire this to a bigger speaker like that 40mm speaker that we carry. But yeah, this circuit here is gonna be my go-to PropMaker circuit for everything, especially since it has Bluetooth. So let me. Oh no, I don't know if I. There you go. So there is the LIS3H accelerometer built into the PropMaker FeatherWing, so it can detect taps and swings. And,
Huge shout out to Liz for doing the code for all this.
We're gonna jump into a little bit of the code and take a look at it. So yeah, huge shout out to Liz for putting that together. So it has the Bluetooth connectivity. I think I shorted it again. I keep doing that, huh? All right, so with that, let's go ahead and do some Bluetooth. Check it out. I'm pretty sure it has the Bluetooth code.
3D Arduino Geek says that the lightsaber sound never gets old.
Yeah, right.
I'm so glad it never gets old because we have to hear it so many times.
Yeah, so yeah, this is the Bluefruit app from Adafruit. It's free for Android and iOS. So Android and iOS. And I'm gonna go to the color picker module and try to change up the colors of these super bright LEDs. They're actually like 1%. So there it is. It's red. And let's go to green. There's green. So what's cool about it is that Liz made it so that the modes, like the hit modes, will kind of carry through the color. So it's supposed to stay solid, and it's getting brighter, and it pulsates as it's idle. But when you hit it, it goes full brightness, and it keeps that color, which is really important. So if you play around with the color again, make it red, and then you hit it, it still retains that kind of hit state, which is awesome.
So even though the Darksaber is only white, you wanted to make sure that this was modular and compatible with other props that you might want to build.
Yeah, I don't think we had the NRF52 Bluefruit with so much CircuitPython support when we did the Lightsaber build 3 years ago. Yeah. So it's really going to be awesome for any cosplay prop that needs motion, sound, activated lights and sounds. And you can remotely change the color now. And it uses the LED animation library. I don't think we had an LED animation library when we first came out with the Saber. So all this great stuff and hard work is all coming together from so many different awesome folks that are on the team. So huge shout out to everybody. Yeah, go back to white here. Kind of all the colors.
So happy you asked that. Our Armando is asking, is there a way to use different lightsaber sounds? Almost every lightsaber has different sounds, especially the Darksaber. Yes, so that is the whole...
So what's cool about CircuitPython, right? If this was an Arduino, if I plug this in, your computer's just like, I don't know what that is. That's just an Arduino. You got to upload to it, right? With CircuitPython, if I plug this in, I now have a USB drive, and I have access to all the sound files. They're just WAV files. They could be MP3s as well. But you literally can just change up the sounds. because they show up like a USB drive.
You're
That's
literally
the power of CircuitPython. It
dragging
shows up,
and dropping sounds that you can record with your mouth on your phone.
Yeah,
drag them, drop them right in there.
You can make your own.
There's none of this having to convert things into like bytecode or some
No. It's
crazy silliness that you had to do back in the day.
This was really hard to do, folks, with CircuitPy. Like this was the C underlying code is like crazy. But yeah, you can take a look at the code. I'm going to load the code, but first let me switch over to like code mode. If that makes sense. Here we go. So here I am. It shows up as CircuitPy.
Let's drop that down, yeah. So this is the hard drive. Load it up on your desktop.
Yeah, let me actually load that up here. So, yeah, just CircuitPy. I even have you can also have like other codes in there as well. But that's the code. There's your library files. So if I go to another computer, let's say a PC or a Linux top, guess what? All of the files show up there. Your code
iPad
stays on your board and is accessible.
You can change it on your phone, on your iPad.
Yeah, wherever you can access USB files, you can change it up, which is really cool. Oh, and here's all the sounds. They're just WAV files. Cool thing about it is that it uses a list of sounds and it randomly plays them. So as you're hitting and swinging, it's not going to be the same repetitive swing or hit. It can run through however many you can fit on the drive. So that's really cool. And with now MP3 audio support, you can even fit more sounds because they're half the size of these kind of chunky files. But yeah, I hope that blows your mind if you haven't seen that yet, because it continues to blow my mind when I forget that an Arduino project, you plug it in and that's it. You plug it in, nothing shows up. You have to have your world profiler and you have to have your libraries installed. The libraries are right here. They're in the drive. It's pretty remarkable. And then here's the code.
You can actually read what it says.
Yeah.
Like some hex decimal.
I was gonna say, like, this is so cool. Like, the code was written by Kattni, Lamar, and Liz, like modified by Liz. 3 awesome women makers. Like, this is great, man. So you can see here the libraries that it's using the new LED animation library. So we have the solid effect, the pulse, and the comment for doing that cool turn on and off effect. We're using the Bluefruit LE library, so it's easy to send those packets of color and use the color packet. I haven't even showed you that it works with like an iOS Apple Watch too. Like it's just built into it and it works really great. And then you have some customizing stuff. So if you have a prop that has very specific sensitivity, you can change it right here. So the hit threshold and the swing thresholds have their own values here, so you can adjust those as you need to.
And you can edit these live. This is the most useful case for this because every single prop is going to have a different threshold, or just the way that the user or the maker wields the actual prop is going to be completely different to how you want those sounds to come out as. And you can iterate these live without having to rebuild,
re-upload,
recompile, and just change a file, hit save.
Yeah, exactly. Which I guess I could do here if I just wanted it to. If I wanted the startup color to be just, I guess, red, I would just change these RGB values. Hit save. Look at the thing on my over here. Look at my, and now it's red as a startup, and it's still running and all that. So that's just a little look at this. Am I okay with the connection? All right, cool. Oh, yeah. All right, so let me obviously update that. And one thing that's funny is like you can kind of, if you don't have a copy of your code, you might want to have copies of your code and stuff, because you saw I just updated and I might not remember what I changed. But yeah, there's lots of things that are built into the animation library. So if you want like a longer, or if you want it to be faster or slower, you can adjust the speed of the things. There's some extra things like the tail length, which kind of helps make it look like the effect for turning on a lightsaber. And then there's some more like setup code here for like audio. There's a sounds folder, so all of your WAV files are put in this sounds folder. And then here's the list of the swing sounds. So if you wanted to add another swing sound, you could just add more to this array. That's the swing sounds, and these are the hit sounds. And you get comments there, so you know what's going on. Here's stuff setting up for the RGB LED button, because we do have an RGB LED button. And this is just turning all of the 3 LEDs in the button on. And here's some stuff that's starting to set up the modes. So that's just a quick look at the code. It's already up on GitHub if folks want to check it out. But yeah, this is gonna, we think folks will really enjoy it. And get a lot of use out of this for future props. All right,
Post
back over
the
here.
Learn Guide GitHub link for these, so you guys can subscribe to these and have sort of a sneak peek on upcoming projects. If you want to go ahead and try them out before the release, you can check out the code along with all the revisions that go with that. Very nice place to check out. And Armando is definitely mind blown on just the abilities that CircuitPython has.
Yeah, I can see that. Like if you're like, well. I always come up with a scenario, but these days the scenario doesn't quite work out because like it starts with like, oh, I'm at a con, at a cosplay con convention.
No, I think the most clearest thing is assistive tech. So
okay, yes,
somebody who needs to change like keyboard arrangement around. You don't have to have all these crazy IDEs with like say your like caretaker is able to easily change around the code because it's written in English. You can actually see what
and see it in any computer. That's the biggest thing is like any computer.
Mobile device. Well, the name mobile device as well. Right. An iPad or an iPhone or Android.
Surface, tablet, whatever can access a USB drive. It emulates the USB drive.
That is the biggest deal with
and these things can act as native USB devices like keyboards, gamepads. It can do MIDI. I feel like we're talking like this feather video all over.
I was going to say, I just posted the feather video, so if you want to take a look at what exactly is feather, it's about a 3-minute video long explaining with examples on which boards you want to use, all of the different props that have been made with all of the different feather wings. It was definitely a video that we couldn't do
a
couple months ago.
Okay.
The latest project videos that use a bunch of the feather wings are in there. So this is definitely a long time coming for explaining what the whole feather ecosystem is about.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's really cool. Armando is saying, yeah, this is totally cool coming from someone who just started Arduino a month ago. This is definitely the path.
Yeah, I don't want to knock Arduino or anything, but it's just...
It has its use cases.
It has its use cases, yeah.
It definitely has its use cases.
Yeah, especially if you want like a speed or something. Like you can tell, it takes a second to turn on, but that's not an issue if it's, it depends on your use case.
And then we had some comments. Yes, Liz is a Jedi Master confirmed, says Bruce. And the Force is strong with this one. Vince is saying that he loves that sound. Yes.
Me too.
Nice little soothe, calming.
Yes, like it's a cat purring. It's so soothing.
So coming next week, yay, there also is a Lightsaber Featherwing Kit that is also
let's look at it.
I think either this week or next week.
Huh?
Please sign up so we know exactly how many of these to kit and make. Yeah,
it's funny how like Adafruit makes kits. It's because we had a lot of search results for Lightsaber on the website. So Lamar's like, you know what, I think it's time for a Lightsaber kit. And here it is. So there's what you get. The only thing that isn't included is, of course, the LEDs, the NeoPixels themselves, because every prop is gonna have their own set. We don't want to lock anybody to a set of LEDs. Like for example, this is a stick. This is 8 pixels. This would be great for a little cube or something, So that's why we don't have the strips. But when it comes to props, you're definitely gonna need a battery, a speaker, a couple buttons. Here's a nice RGB button, and then of course the Feather M4. With the PropMaker FeatherWing. So that's what you got there. And a bunch of these fun pigtail cables. So they're Pico Blade,
our favorite.
Molex Pico Blade, our new favorite cables because they have really, really small connectors, which is great. This 4-pin connector, the Pico connector, is the same size as a 2-pin JSTPH connector, which is bananas. So that's cool. Headers, all the female header, low profile, so you get a really slim feather sandwich, and plenty of headers, and I mean plenty of heat shrink tubing because you're gonna need those.
We have a question from Jason on the Facebook, and is asking why 2 feathers?
Yeah, so the most feathers don't have a built-in accelerometer. Some of them do. But what the Feather PropMaker gives you is those extra ports, a built-in amplifier, the built-in accelerometer, and built-in circuitry for powering really power-hungry pixels.
Not just these NeoPixels.
Yeah.
These can handle 3 watts.
Yeah, 3-watt RGB LEDs. That's what these little pins are here for, and what these massive resistors are for too. But there's the accelerometer built in. So if you're looking at just the Feather, all we could fit on this was this guy here. This is the chip. It's got the CircuitPython code. It's got the
Wi-Fi, Bluetooth.
Wi-Fi, Bluetooth connectivity all in here. And this is the Bluefruit Feather. What it doesn't have is the accelerometer, the amplifier, or these little ports to plug things in. So that's why you kind of need this. Of course, you can power NeoPixels directly off one of these pins, but then it's going to be a little bit more messy with all the wiring. And this doesn't have the circuitry for powering a whole bunch of pixels. Like you would have to kind of add some extra caps and things to power this if you had a ton of pixels. So that's why I have 2 boards.
And then the amplifier for the sound.
Right, the amplifier is
speakers.
all this stuff right here.
You can't
There's a
fit all
little
that
pot
in
there,
there.
and you can't. I keep doing that where you keep resetting it. You gotta be careful with that. You could snip these, but you know, I really like that there's a built-in reset on every feather, so you can always like have access to it. But yeah, I hope that answers the question. We do have a feather that has a built-in accelerometer. It's called the Feather Sense. Funny story. I actually wanted that to be the board, but I ran into problems where like, oh, I can't power the pixels because there's just not enough circuitry. It only has a 3-volt regulator, right? I'm only able to get 3 volts. So with the PropMaker FeatherWing, it's just everything you need to power your pixels and have all this extra stuff like the accelerometer and the amplifier. So that's why 2 boards. You kind of need it. I guess
Yeah,
and Lamar might. And this is like wishful thinking, but it would need to be a double-sided board, and maybe we're not the biggest fans making double-sided boards, because I can imagine Lamar could make a PropMaker Feather edition where it's just 1 board. But this is just like I only have it this way because of the prototype, but in the actual build they snap together and they're pretty low profile, which I'd show, but yeah, I guess I could. All right.
Yeah, those are really good explanations, says Jason.
Great.
Yeah,
I was
so think of it as like the brains and the radio.
all the extra add-ons, yeah.
And then the wing has all of the other add-ons.
Right.
Like we were saying before, the speaker amplifier, the accelerometer, the
Right.
extra power to push out all of those NeoPixels, the lights, the LEDs.
We have another great circuit example of feathers for our prototyping segment, this one here, and it shows you why you want to have, you know, extra circuitry like this. So
It's a really good segue. Let's go ahead and talk about what we're prototyping.
all right, the return of the animatronic feather wings. So speaking of feather, this is the Feather M4 on another doubler. And in order to get like servo control, like easy servo control, of course you could wire up a servo directly to the feather. But this guy here is called the Servo Featherwing. It has all these like additional ports and extra drivers for driving up to what, up to 8 servos. So that's crazy. It gives you all those extra pins, and you can directly plug them in. They just plug right into it. And of course, it has CircuitPython support, so you can really, you can easily program these kind of micro servos easily. All right, so I'm gonna have to steal the battery from you. Sorry. And it's still on, by the way. I didn't even mention that it has USB charging, so it was charging this battery. But it's plugged into my computer, so that's why it's still running. So let's fire this up. This is, again, the Servo Featherwing, 8 channels for servos. The project is animatronic battery wings. We're bringing that back here. So I'm going to turn it on and just see if these 2 are moving. Cool, so we got a little bit of servo movement. This is using the Servo Kit library, so it's really easy to tell what degrees of movements you want and timing and stuff like that. So that's a really simple circuit. There is some extra stuff that I added to it just so that I could power everything off of this one battery. It's called a mini boost, a 5-volt mini boost, and that just helps push that 3-volt regulator to give me a clean 5-volt signal. So you can see that giant little thing there. That's what's giving those 2 servos all the power I need. Because normally you're supposed to power this separately with another power supply, because servos, if you're trying to drive 8 servos, you're going to need some external power. But the mini boost is a great kind of hack way to do it, so you can keep everything running off the same LiPo battery. So
And
that's
for anybody
ready to
interested
boost.
in what the complete build of the Featherwings looks like so far, you can check out the layer by layer that you did a couple months ago.
Yeah, sure.
It's just got placed on the shelf for a little bit as we got some more parts in, and we handled some other stuff around
exactly.
the other projects. So there is the layer by layer that shows the complete construction for anybody who wants to start building one right away.
So if you have a prop that has servos and neopixels, or you could put all these together somehow, like you could have a tripler and have the Servo Featherwing and the PropMaker FeatherWing. So if you wanted lights and sounds with your props and everything's moving, you could have it with I guess 3 boards.
There should be enough.
Yeah. Like all this would fit on a backpack. It depends on how big your circuit is, how big your prop is, right?
You could just put female headers on top of that and stack them.
Right. You only need 1 feather brain. You don't need 2 feather
So you
brains.
just need a tripler or stack.
Which is in the other room, the tripler. Yeah, that's the next level prop. All of it. Like 8 servos, sound effects, accelerometer, Bluetooth. You can control the servos over Bluetooth. Yeah, man.
Yep, so that's what's coming up. And then another, what are we prototyping?
Yes.
So last week and a couple weeks ago, Jeff made a very nice YouTube radio project. So Lamar wanted to have one redone as a 3D printed case. So what we got here is the BrainCraftHAT, just providing the monitor on here. So you have this teeny tiny little display on a Raspberry Pi. This is a Pi 4. I think this is the 8 gig model. It's nice and speedy. I'm very surprised with the performance of the latest Pis. And what is so cool is that you can just play YouTube on this. So it's like an appliance where all you have to do, plug it in, it runs in Kinko's mode, so you can just kiosk mode.
I like Kinko's. I remember Kinko's.
And he has a very nice list of YouTube playlists already in there. Super easy to add your own. One of the things I wanted to do was have this set up as a nice little display for my baby, so he can quickly access like Baby First. It's a little YouTube channel just for little babies, and so he doesn't have to take up an entire TV. And of course,
perfect baby size.
Yeah, nice baby size.
A baby
So
TFT.
we have the what's the specs on the speaker here?
It's a 40 millimeter
20
diameter. I don't remember what the wattage is.
It's one of these guys.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
So its built-in speaker has a very nice bass response. So when you're playing like drum and bass radio or any of these hip hop tune radios, there is a nice thump that goes along with the speaker. Very nice. So of course, following the AT must-haves that Bill Binko is always telling us about, we have a removable tripod
screw adapter.
Little adapter on here, so this entire piece comes off. So if you don't want that, you can have it just hanging out on your desk. It has a nice little viewing angle on here, nice little 45 degrees, so you can just have that on your desk. Of course, I wanted the tripod for that. And then the joystick controls that Jeff added on there all work. So up and down for the volume, and then change stations with left and right.
Right. So
And then you have your built-in button on here if you want to pause.
okay.
And then
Sweet.
for reloading a website, or reloading the YouTube video, you just push in.
Okay.
It just reloads.
That joystick
Site.
is so great to have on there. So,
So this
outside of this use case, like this BrainCraftHAT has everything you need: a built-in screen, a little joystick,
the amplifier for the
amplifier
speakers.
for the speaker. Are there more buttons on it,
Um,
or is it just one user button?
I think.
I mean, the
it's-
joystick's
it's maybe
pretty
5.
good.
Yeah, it's like 5 buttons. You have what's being covered up here is like status LED. So you have like
Yes.
neopixels on there.
Are there any temperature sensors or anything built into it?
Not built in, but you can.
There's
have
a microphone. That's right. So
microphone,
there's a microphone
there's
built in. So this was originally
Stem connection.
I mean, it's kind of designed for machine learning projects.
So this is a
So,
this is a
microphone.
continuation of some of those projects with the BrainCraftHAT. So before we had it in a different model, which thankfully is right here. I can just grab it. It was a Raspberry Pi high quality camera that was then updated to the, oh, did I put it in the other room?
Breaking news, we have one in stock.
Whoa. So before this was the machine learning case for that. So you can see here those
there's
the buttons are broken out. You can see a little bit more of what the inside looks like.
You've really cleaned it up. Like this looks like, what's this do? It's like those are just caps.
Yeah.
There's also a stemma connector, so if you want to plug in
two
stemma.
Sure.
One stemma QT connector and two stemma not QT. And then these two, what is this, power and speaker?
Yeah, these are two speakers. So you have stereo speakers on there.
Extra audio out.
Yep,
Thing, so
audio
high quality audio.
Actually have two audio outs.
Oh, there's a switch because there's important
for
to have
microphone.
For the microphone to completely turn off the audio so it's not listening to you.
It's one of the important things that Phil and Lamar wanted to make sure when making, because you could make like a Google Assistant with this, and in terms of privacy, we wanted to make sure that there was absolutely no way that microphones were listening in, so you have an on and off button for that.
Sweet. So, yeah.
It's a nice little continuation or upgrade.
Like the screen looks bigger because of the
oh,
bezel
yeah.
and all that, but it's the same,
definitely the bezel
it's the same,
around.
Folks. It's an illusion.
Nice high quality little TFT as well. You can actually do some work on there.
Whoops, sorry.
And, confirmation, yeah, that Adam is saying that, yeah, he's got 2 of the 8 gig Pis and they are quite snappy. Yeah, very impressed with these.
Sweet. All right. Well, with
so
there was a look at it.
Yeah. So
we can talk about
so there's been some. There was a latest kernel that was updated, the TFT, and it broke a lot of people's BrainCraftHATs. As we're waiting for some patches to be made, just wanted to call attention to a quick fix that Melissa worked on over the weekend, so we can get this to work. If you get over to the GitHub issue here, you can see the quick band-aid that she has in terms of downgrading to a past firmware that should be able to work with it. So there's the steps for that. I'll
cool. Let me preface this a little bit. So let's go ahead and look at the Learn Guide. So the lo-fi hip hop streaming project is already a Learn Guide. There it is. It's by Jeff Epler, of course. So here's the code and the step-by-step instructions on how to run the scripts on your Pi, right? So if you run this stuff right now,
you're going to come up with
it's not going to work.
Scrambled screen, but you still have to take these steps to install all the necessary.
Right. All this is going to get updated. We're just letting you know that this is like cutting edge, what's going to end up being updated, right? Pi Foundation comes out with these kernel updates, breaks a lot of scripts, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, our team worked on it and fixed it up, so it's working now, as you can see. So the idea is that you can, in the script, in the Pi script, you can adjust the orientation, the rotation of the screen, so you can have it in any orientation you want. But when that happens, then your buttons are kind of wrong. Up is now left, right?
Yeah, that's already been updated.
That is built into the script now. Yeah, so that's really cool. So this is, where would you change that? Is it like you SSH into it? And
yeah, you SSH into it, and it's in it tells you in the guide what script that you need if you want to, say, have it inverted for some reason.
Controlling or configuring? Where's that? Down here, I think.
Yeah. And that's the script there. It's the kiosk setup. You can just go there and look at the file if you want. I got some questions about the speaker that we have here. Yeah, it's the 40 millimeter, 4 ohm, 3 watt speaker. I'll post the link in that. Very nice speaker.
Okay, I think we'll add to our, because we'll have a guide as well, so I guess we can add the actual rotation. I'm kind of skimming through it, but I can't quite.
How to add the rotation?
Specific like screenshot. This is like rotate equals 270.
Yeah, that is in the guide. So I think it's under Configure Pi, and it links you to the actual BrainCraftHAT setup.
Oh, I gotcha.
Nope. Down. There it is.
Blinka setup?
Blinka setup. It's in the same learn guide for that.
Cool. I mean, if you're walking through it, I'm skimming through it. That's why I'm
Yeah,
kinda missing some steps.
So there'll be a new guide for setting this up, and I'll have those instructions in a nice, neat little
baked in there. Display
page,
module
so you're
install.
not jumping through 3 different guides to have this set up.
Well, because
Here's
there's so
the-
much here documented.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff they have to go through. So yeah, there's the thing you were talking about, how
There's
to
the
set up the
chip.
display. So before this
Rotate
update,
90
the
days.
rotate at 270 degrees, which is pretty much like upside down, was the only one that didn't work. 0, 90, 180, and 0, 90, and 80 were the only ones that worked.
Okay.
So thankfully that broke, so they were able to implement that fix in there.
Sweet. So there you go. There's a little bit of the BTS on what happened with this one.
And then we got request for the link to that guide. Let's see. Let me
Sure.
no, I got it right
All right,
here.
we just got it.
This is the link to the LoFi Hip Hop Raspberry Pi radio. This one's just going to be your name to like YouTube player or something like that. And it's a nice little way to have a little YouTube boombox, is what I look at it
Sure.
as.
Still in stock, one. It comes with a fan.
Yeah,
So
it does
if
come
you're
with
doing
a
some
fan.
intense machine learning, you're going to want that fan. But it's built into there. It's got these standoffs that are built into it. Comes with all the little bits that you need, like the little nub.
Let me
I
get
have a
to-
3D model of it as well, so if folks want to, 3D model something embedded, you can use that 3D model of the BrainCraftHAT. Yeah, and then if you scroll all the way down, you can see all the various learn guides that use the BrainCraftHAT. There are a few of them. Yes. And we'll probably do more projects.
Yeah, I just saw them post on the Slack. Looks like I want to do like a whole. What was that? I can just quote what Jeff posted. It was a vintage black and white television stereo, like one of those vintage stereos.
It's like a console
TV
with like 4
from
cubes in it.
1950s. I am totally down with that.
Yeah, that's great. Woodworking, yes.
That would be pretty
That
cool.
would be cool. Like, I don't think anything. All right. Let's
Or maybe
switch
maybe
it
go
up.
a different approach and not use the BrainCraftHAT. Have like a nice big display for that.
Yeah, that'd
be
be
pretty
cool.
cool.
All right.
All right, looking through our show notes here, I think it's time for Community Makes.
Community makes.
This week's Community Make is a really cool, useful,
Practical 3D printing.
practical 3D printing.
All right.
This is a really cool USB cable spool.
Doesn't have to be USB, does it?
I guess.
Could
All
be
of the
HDMI.
cables that are on my desk are all USB.
Really? Not lightning?
So this is 2 different parts, print separately, so it's not print in place. And it does recommend printing these with supports, but I was able to get away with it, as you can see in the time lapse there.
Yeah. That was good.
And I really like the spacing of how the cable fits in here. This is really great.
Right.
Yeah, so all it does is just wind up your cable, so you don't have to have just a mess of wires. You can have it neatly tucked away as you're working on something, or have it to a specific length, so it's not so big. I always coil up all of my cables just so it's not so messy.
Cool.
It's a really nice little print. So 2 pieces. It just snaps into the main part that holds the USB cable, and it looks like it's big enough to have like a nice big long cable, like a meter or 2. Oops, excuse you.
Yeah, thank you.
Like a meter or 2 cable.
Unmute. Okay.
So
And
this
here it is
one,
on Thingiverse, so shout out to
This is from
Sache Mache?
Yep, Sache Mache.
Sache Mache?
Really cool, useful.
There it is.
This was found on the top downloads page on Thingiverse.
I like the annotation of the little arrows.
Yeah,
Sweet.
it's all part.
Yeah, very cool. So check that out if you want to print one on yourself.
Yeah, again, he lists using tree supports, but I was able to get away with no supports at all on there,
Okay.
and it worked really good.
Excellent. All right, and continuing on with Community Makes, we got a couple other things that came through this week. Let's take a look. Here we go. So the first make I saw, uploaded 2 days ago by MM Ordry. It's the camera case, the HQ camera case. So if you have a Raspberry Pi and you got your fancy new HQ camera module, you have a little case for you folks. So this looks like it's for their 3D printer or something. And it's mounted to a piece of 2020 extrusion, and the Pi is running the Octoprint servo. And here are links to all the different things. So that's really nice to see. Printed on a Quilty Ender 5. Next up, it's a blast from the past here. This is the ESP8266 Wi-Fi weather station with color TFT display.
Nice.
This is a blast from the past, like I said. This originally was written in Arduino, and it uses a feather and a TFT feather wing. Nowadays, you got your Pi portal, you got your Pi badge, you got your
Coming
you got
soon.
your mag tag.
And coming
you can
soon, the
do this
feather
project
with the TFT already attached on there. This would be a nice little remake for that.
Yeah, it's just that this Arduino project had like a lot of libraries that I'm not sure if they're supported these
I think
days.
not dark, underground weather.
Yeah, went down maybe. So it's got a life of its own, the project. So it's cool to still see folks printing it out. It looks like there's some magnets in the back there. That's cool.
And this is why everything we do
A
is
little bit
open
chunky.
source.
Yeah, for sure.
So the life can continue on with these projects.
It's a little chunkier. So if you want something that's like this, the Pi portal is just like, it's like flat.
Everything's
it's
already
all built
in.
into it, yeah. But it's still cool to see the ESP32. ESP86, 8260s. Whew. All right, the next one is the mini USB Fume extractor. This was a very fun project. It could have been something else, but it ended up being this, so that's great. And seeing it in a different color scheme is always beautiful. It's always great. So you got your little USB.
That's great.
You know, Fume extractor. We stock the carbon filter as well. So if you want to cut your little carbon filter, there's a spot for that. This is one of my cute projects. I use this all the time when I'm soldering, by the way, because it's like, of course, you could have a big one, but I like the small one because I got a lot of stuff on the desk.
You can get
it's way too much.
You
stuff on
can
the
bring
desk.
it in really close to your socket.
And it has this little GoPro knuckle thing, so you can attach it to different GoPro accessories and whatnot, and googly eyes. I think it's important to have fun with your projects. Make them look fun. Add googly eyes. Hope that inspires you.
Use ours all the time.
Oh shit. Mario Boo. You know, you can't. I don't know. What do I say about Mario Boo?
This is a nice little theme for any little home garden setups. A lot of people starting those with quarantine and all that. So this is definitely a nice way to have that Super Mario theme. You can get like a bunch of bricks. I think we actually uploaded some brick ones as well.
55 makes on this.
Yeah, a nice little painting project
Somebody
too
actually
after.
lit it up. Or maybe it's
Yeah, it
not
looks
lit
really
up.
cool.
It's pretty cool, man. I don't know.
I think I made this in Maya.
I think so, you did. And before we started working at Adafruit.
Yeah.
This predates lots of stuff. Sorry, I'm just going down.
I know, these are really good
a
paint jobs
trip,
and
man.
the way that
Does
people
that still
customize
say
it.
Pixel 3D? Yeah, back when we were like, we started our Etsy shop. We were like, yeah, we're gonna sell stuff on Etsy, and we'll do that.
We got comments in the Discord.
All right, where am I? So thank you everybody for posting your makes. I really appreciate it. You can tag us on any of the socials if you don't want to put on Thingiverse, of course.
See, Andy Calloway is saying that, yeah, these would be great for Cat 5 and headphones. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. These are cool.
Wahoo, or Hoo-Ha 007, Adam is saying that, yeah, that is the BrainCraftHAT that was used in YouTube, LoFi radio.
Absolutely, yes.
And the Raspberry Pi, BrainCraft, the machine learning, high quality camera.
There it is.
Or this is the standard one. We do have one.
Yeah,
with the high quality.
right.
It does work as well.
Yeah. Very modular, very modular.
And then he's given thanks for the recommendation on the CR10 V3. Yes.
Right
a lot of the V2s, the V3s, and the Pros are what make a lot of these projects, as well as the Ultimakers.
All right, well that is gonna do it for the show, folks. Appreciate everybody coming on and saying hello. chatting it up with us. So any last remarks, of course, drop them in. We'll stick around a little bit longer. But tonight, we have more shows. Starting off with Show and Tell. So we invite you to come on Show and Tell. If you have anything to share or you want to talk about, you can come on the live stream and chat it up. It happens on StreamYard. We send a link, an invite link, in the Discord chat room, in this very channel, the live broadcast channel. So if folks want to jump in, you can check it out. Shout out Bruce for putting the show times. Here is the full list of show times. And I guess I'm kind of running through it. So Show and Tell again tonight at 7:30 p.m.
Immediately after at 8 p.m. we have Ask an Engineer, full hour of Phil and Lamar talking about all of the current events in the Maker community and the world.
And then tomorrow, return of John Park. Thursdays at 4 p.m. I said return because he did a show yesterday. He does Tuesday shows. I gotta always go back with that. Like John Park Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then after Thursday, there's a Friday, and that's Scott's Day. Deep Dive with Scott's on Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, specifically at 2 p.m. Pacifically.
Watch as he codes a lot of the
yes.
packages and libraries for all of the products.
Yeah,
here.
last Friday had a nice 2021 kind of walk-in, so there we go.
Oh, thank you guys. People saying thanks for the moment of sanity. Yes. Is definitely.
It's really hard to focus.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
it is.
Yeah, but yes, we are paying attention when we need to. So
yep,
it's important.
It's crazy what the project that I'm working on.
Yes, actually using it.
I could see the news coming up
yeah.
as I'm designing the case for it. So it's like kind of crazy.
Yeah, we're just on the edge of our seats here waiting. To see
So
what happens.
thank you all for being kind to each other, making every single week.
Yes, and thank you for your orders, because like we can only do this with y'all. So I'd like to voice PT for a minute. Pick up a kit every now and then if you can, or pick one up for someone you like,
or review a code.
or just say hi and thank you. Like that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Keep us focused, because focus is hard.
So, all right, that's going to be it for the show. Got some voiceovers to do for the Darksaber. That'll be out next week.
Yes.
Remember to sign up for the kits. They'll be available soon.
We're fighting this thing. Wear a mask. If you go out there, be a hero, wear a mask. That's our message.
All right, that's going to do it for this week. Thank you all for joining us. And remember to
make a great day. Adios, folks.
see you tonight.
See you tonight.